Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaser King coming to you with week 13 of the NFL. Another good week last week, 8-3. Big loser was Seattle, but I had Buffalo in the lock, as well as all the other bigger games like the Giants. New England won, and that's what happens. I try to explain to people about teasers, and generally you're going to have losers. It's just the nature of the thing. So that's one of the reasons I play a lot of teasers. People wonder, well, why do you play so many? And it's really important to, because when I say that I picked, like last week, I was 8-3 in my teams. I'm not saying teasers. I didn't play 11 teasers and win 8 teasers and lose 3 teasers. There's been a lot of misunderstanding about that. I'm not saying I played 11 teasers. What I'm saying is I played 11 teams. So I win 8 and I lose 3. And here's the reason I play so many teasers. Let's just say I played 2 teasers with 4 teams. Pretty much I'm going to go 3-1. And if I go 3-1, I'm going to break even. I'm going to win a teaser and lose a teaser. And if I do 8 teams, I'm going to go 6-2 probably. So what I try to do is put the best teams in 2 teasers, because I really want like 10 teasers, because it really defeats the odds. So this way, if I lose 2 teasers and I play 10 teasers, I'm going to win 8 teasers. 8 minus 2 is 6. So I'm plus 6 teasers. But if I just play 2, let's say I play 4 teasers and I go 6-2, I lose 2 teasers, I win 2 teasers, I break even. And that's also the reason that I divvy up my amounts and I don't play them all for $100, because then you don't win anything. I mean, the object is the game you really like. That's the game I lock. I play for more money, and I can win that one and lose 2 others and still win, because I win one for 1,000 and I lose 2 300s. Just for example, I'm just throwing examples out. So that's why I play a lot of games. That's why I pick a lot of games, because I pick a lot, and that's why I'm saying I'm 100 and what am I now? I'm 111 and 27 for the whole year picking pros, and that's what I mean by it. If you just look at my picks for pros, just the picks, not the teasers. Don't get confused. I'm not talking about 111 teasers and 27, and I'm not trying to, be deceitful, and I'm not trying to say, hey, I won 111 teasers and lost 27. I'm getting quite harassed over that, and I'm really getting upset by that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the picks. And the reason is because the picks are the picks. If I pick 8 right and 3 wrong, I'm going to lose 3 teasers. I know that. So theoretically, I can win 5 teasers minus the 3, and I'm plus 2. And that's really the point I'm trying to do. And by increasing the bets on the better ones, theoretically, I can lose more. I can go like 3-4 and win money, because the 3 teasers are the locks that win or very strong plays, and the other games lose. And therefore, let's say I win 1,000, 1,000, and 1,000 on the 3 I win, 3,000, and I lose 400, 400, and 400, and 400. I lose 12. Plus 3,000 minus 1,200, I win 1,800. And I do that a lot, and that's why I'm successful at it, and that's why I've been winning at it. And as the year goes on, like I see, like Cincinnati was great last year, they stink this year. The teams start changing. Green Bay is bad, they get injured. Clay Matthews comes back. Rodgers looks better, all of a sudden they're a better team. Dallas, out of the blue, boom. Okay, so at first I don't play Dallas, boom. Last year, I didn't play Carolina until like week 5 or 6, and then I locked them 4 or 5 times. So that's what you do, is as you see the team, and that's what my stats do. They make it very clear. Like, I'll give you 2 examples of my stats. This year, Detroit in a teaser is 10-1. New Orleans in a teaser is 10-1. Now, they happen to play each other this week, but generally, New Orleans was terrible in a teaser the last couple years, mostly from that Bounty Gate or whatever. And Detroit's always been terrible, always a bet against. So that's my point. All of a sudden, I'm going to bet New Orleans and Detroit because they're hot this year, and I'm going to bet against Cleveland and Jacksonville, which I always do. And that's where a lot of my locks come from. Like last week, I locked Buffalo, not because I think Buffalo is great, but because I bet against Jacksonville. Because I see Jacksonville's 11-0 bet against in a teaser. I bet against Cleveland because they're terrible as a home dog, and the Giants are okay as a road favorite. So there's always two parts to it, and that's why sometimes I don't bet the team. I'm looking for a strong road favorite and a weak home dog, or a weak road favorite and a strong home dog. Sometimes I get a weak home favorite and a weak home dog, a weak road favorite and a weak home dog, and it ends up nowhere. So that's what I'm looking for, is when I get that, and that's usually most of my locks are. I got a real, like Dallas over Green Bay was a lock because Dallas is a great road dog, and Green Bay was having trouble scoring, and I knew if Green Bay won, they weren't going to blow out Dallas, not the way Dallas has been playing. So I look for teams like that as dogs. And that's what I'm looking for. Weak favorites, strong dogs, and that's really where my locks come from. Now my locks they've been okay. I've been winning part of it and losing part of it, and it's the same schematic that I've done for the last 30 years. I look at the game, boom, oh, this is, like Ohio State last week. That was a joke. I mean, that was like a one-outer in poker on the river. I mean, I got the game won. It's under 55, and it's 17 to 10 late in the fourth quarter, or 17-14 late in the fourth, and it goes to overtime, and it's like, really, I mean, it's a screw. But the pick, my point is, the pick was perfect. The pick was dead on, two great defenses, not a lot of scoring, and that's really all I'm trying to say is when I make a pick, it's a good pick. It's not like I'm making a stupid pick. I'm making very good picks. But what happens is, you get a miracle. Ohio State misses a field goal, then makes one. Had they made both of them, had Michigan not thrown a pick six, they win 17-0, which is way under, which is what the score I think should have been. But anyway, so that's what's been happening. Some weird, just some weird outcomes of some games that just are really strange. The trends are there. And I'm looking at injuries and trends and everything. I don't just look at trends. So I'm looking at everything, and I'm coming up. So that's what's happening anyway. So it's just been a little bit unlucky on my locks that I'm hitting. Navy wins by 80 points last week. I got them with Ohio State. Minnesota wins. Buffalo wins. And then Seattle loses to Tampa. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Tampa's a terrible home dog. Seattle. How the hell did they score 5 points against Tampa? Now we'll see how good Tampa is. They go to San Diego, and let's see San Diego scoring 5 points. Yeah, I don't think so. Tampa will probably wake up. And that's been the problem, that one fluke, and I keep running into it. But it happens when I play poker. I'll get pocket aces, and I bet it, and somebody flops a set on me. Somebody flops a flush on me. Somebody flops a straight on me. And you got aces. They're supposed to win, but they don't. And that's what I'm doing here. The game should win before, and then something happens, and then it's been lose, like Pitt loses to Miami. I mean, they're great bets. They're bets that should win, and they're not. But all I can do is keep going, like a jump shooter or a quarterback who threw an interception. You just keep going. So I kind of block that out, and I don't force bets. None of my locks are forced. And none of my plays are forced. My plays I look at, I analyze, and I go, yeah, that's a good play. So let me get into one right now. All right, let's look at Philadelphia, Cincinnati. I played Cincinnati under with Baltimore last week, easy winner. And I'm going to probably do the same thing this week. I'm seeing a line change. I'm seeing Philly -1 at some casinos, Cincinnati -1 at other casinos. Initially, when Philly's a 2-point favorite, I don't like either team and then you got to look at A.J. Green being out. So A.J. Green being out means Cincinnati's not going to score a lot. So when I look at the spread of 1 and an over-under of 42, my first thought is, without A.J. Green, since he doesn't score a lot, Philly doesn't score a lot, They both have good defenses to go under. So the over-under of 42, I would go under 48. Now, if Cincinnati goes to a -1.5, where we're getting more than 7, now I like Philadelphia also, because Philadelphia is a very strong road dog, and Cincy's not a very good home favorite. They're a weak home favorite. They're a weak favorite, let's say. A weak favorite's a team that they're favorite, but they don't score a lot. And if you have a team that can kind of score, you're kind of going, okay, I mean, Philly should score enough against Cincy. But again, I don't see a high-scoring game. I don't see either team over 20 here, because Cincy does have a defense, and they don't have A.G. Green. And that's the same thing. So my first priority would be taking the game under 48. I think that's a big number for this type of team. Two defensive teams. Let me quickly read you the numbers. Let me quickly find the numbers. Cincinnati scores 19 a game and gives up 22. Philadelphia scores 23 and gives up 19. So you have a team, so Philly scores 23, and since he gives up 23, and since he only scores 19, and Philly gives up 19. So you have two low-scoring teams with not very good quarterbacks. Carson Wentz, now that they got tape on him, they know how to handle. I mean, hell, Green Bay held them, and Green Bay with their defense. Now Clay Matthews is back, which helps, but Green Bay with their defense is not a real strong defense, and yet they killed them last week, Green Bay. So that's my point, is Cincinnati, very good defense. They're not going to score a lot. Philly or Cincy's not going to score a lot on Philly. Philly gives up 19 a game. Played at Dallas, pretty close. It goes to overtime, but you're looking at a 23-23 game. And I think that this won't even get that high, since he's got a better defense than Dallas. But Dalton will make the turnovers. And against Baltimore, it was all field goals. So since he held Baltimore to field goals, they'll hold Philly to field goals. I just think under 48 is the way to go here. Let's go to the Pitt and the Giants. Pitt's laying 6 to the Giants, over under 49. If you really study the stats, the Giants are not an over team. They're an under team. They got a good defense. They can throw, they can't run it. Manning throws a lot of interceptions. Pittsburgh is more of an over team. Let me get to the numbers on this one. And these are just the average. So you take all the games, divide it out. It's on Yahoo. I'm not coming up with anything magical here. Pitt scores 24 a game, gives up 20. And the Giants score 21 and give up 19. So see, look at the Giants are only giving up 19 a game. So Pitt scores more. Well, yeah, they score 24 to 21, and then they're pretty even at 19 and 20 points a game. So I don't think you're going to have this explosive game. But you got to realize in Pitt's stats, Roethlisberger missed 3 games. Now we take it over to let's look at the trends. And I need to open up my sheet. I thought I had it open. Apologize. So when I look, I'm looking for Pitt as a home favorite, the Giants as a road dog. And I go back, I do this year, and I go back a couple years. So I'll go this year in 15, this year in 14, this year in 13. Well, this year, I mean, Pitt's 3-1 as a home favorite, 7-4 overall. Bet against, they're 2-2, which means they 3 out of the 4 games, if you bet Pitt at home, you won, and you only were 2-2 if you bet against them. And the Giants are 2-1 as a road dog, and 3-0 if you bet against them as a road dog. The Giants are a strange team. They're 10-1 if you took them in a teaser, and 10-1 if you bet against them in the teaser. I've never seen anything like it. It's insane. So basically what it is every Giant game is close. They seem to win, but the other team you could bet on. But here they're facing a strong Pittsburgh team. So let's go back to 15, and we get a little bit more information. Here the Giants now are only 5-3 as a road dog, but here's where it gets interesting. If you bet against them as a road dog, they're 7-1, which means when the Giants play a good team on the road, and they're the underdog, you can bet the other team, and you're 7-1, 88%. And here's where it gets really interesting. The Giants bet against overall is 23-4, 85%. So if every game the Giants played, I would go and take the other team, I'm 23-4. Pittsburgh, home favorite, 8-2. Home dog, 3-0. So they're 11-2 at home if you bet them in a teaser. Overall, they're 22-7, 76%, but that's because Roethlisberger missed some games. If you bet against them as a home favorite, you're only 5-5. So they kind of blow out, so they blew out 5 teams, and 5 teams were close. 8-2. One of their losses was to Dallas, but I'm not sure. If you bet them, you might have still won because of the points. Because, that's the beauty of the teasers and the pros. A lot of games like this, you can bet either way. And I just showed you the Giants, 10-1 if you took them 10-1 against. So what happens is if you just play a teaser, the games are close. And if you took this, if you took the favorite, you win. You took the dog, you win. So that happens quite a bit. And again, the key numbers, get over 7, get under 3. That's the key. When a team's laying 3, it's hard to play in a teaser because you're only getting 3. So if it's a field goal game, it really doesn't help you. So you really want to go 2.5 to 3.5 or 3 up to 9. But I don't play a lot of 3s too often because it just don't help unless I feel the line's bad and it should be 5 or 6 and it's only 3. So anyways, you can see Pitt 11-2 at home, 8-2 as a home favorite, going against the Giants, who are 7-1 against as a road dog. And this is what I was talking about. I got a road dog who's a bad road dog in the Giants, and a home favorite Pitt, who's 8-2 at home. Now I add both teams need the game, so that doesn't hurt or help. I mean, Pitt needs it for their division lead. The Giants need it to try to catch Dallas. Well, I don't think they can catch Dallas. They're just trying to get the second wild card. I mean, I think they can still get Dallas, but it's, Dallas has to stumble, and depends if they play really good teams or not. But they've already beaten Pittsburgh, Dallas, and they beat Baltimore, so they beat some pretty good teams already. So anyway, so that's what you have here is a good home favorite playing a weak road dog. And again, the Giants are 23-4 against. And Pitt's not great, but we're just looking at them as a home favorite. And if we go back one more year, I don't know if the trends hold. And the Giants are 11-3 against. If we go back to 2014, 35-8, 81% betting against the Giants. And Pitt's only 12-5 as a home favorite. So the trend doesn't hold for Pitt back in 2014, but it still holds for the Giants being 11-3 bet against and 81%. So why do I go back so many years? It shows you the trends changing. Pitt wasn't a good home favorite. Maybe it was injuries. Who knows what happened? I think it was a lot of injuries, and they just weren't playing well. I think Roethlisberger was hurt, and now here's Roethlisberger back, and they're playing well. And if you look at last year and this year, all of a sudden that trend changed from they weren't a very good home favorite to now they're a better home favorite. And their only loss being, against Dallas, who's a very good team. The Giants aren't in that class. They don't have that running attack. So you can concentrate on just stopping the pass. And the Giants are a good defense, but I don't see them stopping Pitt at Pitt. Pitt at Pitt is a very tough out. So there's your teaser. Cincinnati without A.J. Green playing a good defense in Philly, only giving up 19 a game, and Cincinnati only gives up 20. So you go under there, and you take Pitt even at home. The Giants are good, but they're a weak road dog, and you're getting them in Pitt. If this game was in New York and Pitt was the favorite, I would not be playing Pitt. But Pitt at home as a favorite, I think, needing the game, and with Roethlisberger being out 3 games, I think is the play here. I think they pull a Kansas City and just rip them. The Giants have a decent defense rushing the passer, but again, Pitt has Le'Veon Bell, and they got Antonio Brown and Roethlisberger and the defense, and I just don't see the Giants haven't really blown out anybody. That's why they're 10-1 against, and I just think you could go against them. So anyway, so those are some of my tips. I mean, I'm looking at the trends. I'm looking at the injuries. Now you look at teams needing it for the playoffs. And that's really what it's all about. You're just you're trying to bet on teams that need it, sometimes after a loss. Denver I like if the quarterback, see here I got Denver against Jacksonville. Denver would be a lock if Simeon plays, but now he hurt his foot, it's in a boot. Well, now I can't play the game until I know he's going to play. So this is why sometimes, like if you bought my picks now, you would see some games out there. You're gonna see my locks out there. I got the 2 college teams in one lock, and I have 2 pro teams in one lock. So I have 4 locked teams and 2 teasers, just so everybody's on the same page. I mean, with teasers, it's a little different because you could play. I mean, I hit a 10-team teaser. Did I hit 1 teaser or did I hit 10 teams? And I hit 10 teams, and I posted that. So that's what you have. But anyway, so that's what you're looking for here is what's going on. And like I said with Denver, if Simeon plays and he can, and he's okay to go probably tomorrow or Saturday, then I would love Denver after a loss against a weak Jacksonville team. The defense is just going to dominate. Now I still think the defense will dominate, but with Paxton Lynch, who I really love, and I think he'll be a great quarterback, I just don't think he's ready yet. I'm not going to start betting him, even though it's Jacksonville, and I'm sure they'll just run the ball down their throat and play defense. But in my mind, I'm looking at Denver here I think Denver wins the game, but with Simeon, I think that's the difference between a good bet and a lock bet. Simeon plays, he throws for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns against Kansas City. He's going to eat up Jacksonville, but he's got a boot on, and it was a swollen foot, and quarterback needs his foot to push off and drop back and fire. So we'll have to see. But if Paxton Lynch starts showing me, there's always that first 2 or 3 weeks when the new quarterback, even Dak Prescott, their first game he lost to the Giants. Now if he played him, he'd kill the Giants. But it takes him a couple weeks to get comfortable. So I have to see Lynch also. But that's my point. So there you go. Cincinnati under, Pitt even. 4 locks going this week. Very good college games going this week. Pros, I've been red hot. I mean, if my worst week's 8-3, that's pretty good. Now again, that's picking 8 games, picking 11 games, winning 8 and losing 3, not picking 11 teasers. Please listen to my video, not just hear words and then not listen. So anyway, good luck to you. Again, www.teaserking.com. If you want to play a 5-team teaser with me, I'd like you to buy the advisory. It's only $50, and then we can play the 5-team teaser. You can't just not be a customer and want to play a 5-team teaser. Then I'm giving you my 5 picks. So buy the advisor and we can play 5-team teasers. Again, I take 20%. Or if you just buy the locks or you buy the pro or the college. I will be coming out with the bowl games. I think it'll be 125 for all the bowl games and all the way through the playoff, the college playoffs. And that'll be 125 for the whole gamut. And there's like 50 bowl games now, so you get about 3-4 weeks of picks plus the playoff picks. In the pros, again, I've reduced the season to 500 for the whole season, 100 per the week. And again, the whole season goes through the Super Bowl and every lock. So it's a very good deal, I believe. I mean, if you're spending 100 a week and there's 10 weeks left, you're going to spend $1,000. You can just spend 500 instead of $1,000. So anyway, good luck. Again, Cincinnati under, Pittsburgh even. Good luck, Teaser King. Have a great weekend, everybody.